Hi, my name is Brian Sorbino, and I'm the community manager at Trello. So today we're going to dive into all of the features of Trello Business Class. So during this webinar, I'll be covering business class power-ups and integrations, the team boards page featuring board collections and sorting, all the additional administrative features that come with business class, smart billing, and priority support. So I know that you probably have lots of questions about business class, so I'm going to make sure to leave plenty of time for a Q&A session after the presentation, where I'll be joined by our support superstar, Michelle Earhart. If you have any questions, please type them into the GoToWebinar question box, and we'll be addressing them at the end of the webinar. You can also email any questions to support@trello.com, and our support team will be glad to answer any questions that you have. Also, I want to let you know that I'll be recording today's webinar, and we'll email a copy of the recording to all attendees. So with Business Class, you get a suite of power-ups that allows your team to integrate their favorite apps right into your Trello workflow. And so now you can use Trello as a platform to gain perspective on projects by organizing your business and data within your Trello boards and collaborate with your team without having to jump back and forth between apps. So in a single glance, you can see who is working on what and where projects are in the pipeline to completion. And so let me demonstrate a few of the more popular power-ups. And if there's one that you'd like to see that I haven't covered, please let us know, and I'll be able to give a demo during the Q&A session. So let me hop right into Trello here. So first of all, power-ups can be enabled from the board sidebar by clicking power-ups, and then by clicking the enable button. And some power-ups may have settings or authorization requirements, which are accessible via the gear icon, whether it's linking your account to Trello or just setting general permission settings. And you can also get information about a power-up by clicking the information button here. So the first power-up I'd like to show you is the Google Drive integration. When working on marketing initiatives, you can keep all your team's assets in one place and allow your team to collaborate, review, and create in one location. And so here I've attached a folder from Google Drive that has all the assets for an upcoming marketing campaign for education for Trello. And as you can see, I can attach files or folders. And so if I attach a file to a card, let's just say one of these individual files. As you can see, it pulls in when the document was created, when it was last modified, and by whom. And you can access this right in Google Drive. And so this allows you, to easily share with your team, review and see when documents were last modified by whom. Marketing teams can, easily access all of their assets for upcoming campaigns. And designers can share mockups with their team and receive feedback in the comments section of the Trello card. And it's also possible to create a new document right on the back of a card in Drive. So just create and attach, create documents, drawings, slides, sheets, and folders. And so if I want to create a new document, I can just click Create Google Document. And as you see, by default, the document is named after the name of the Trello card. And you can see that this was just created now, and it was created by my webinars handle. And I can go right into Google Drive right from there and start editing that. And now anyone on my team would be able to access this document from the back of the card and start collaborating. So these days, it kind of feels like we're going through, I guess you could say, a revolution in team communication. As more teams go remote and the office landscape changes. And so with the Slack power-up, it's possible to seamlessly bring your Trello cards directly into Slack for team brainstorming sessions or for quick feedback. And so, cards can be sent either to a Slack channel or by direct message to someone on your team. And so what I could do is, first of all, let me show you real quick. When I enable Slack in Trello, I can choose a channel to associate with this room. So if I'm working on a big marketing project. I could associate it with the big project chat room. This board is associated. And click that. Now, as you can see right up here, I can easily access that Slack channel right from my Trello board. And it's also really easy for me to send a card. Maybe we're talking about an aspect of the campaign, a task that needs to be done, and I want to reference it with my team or get some feedback. I can quickly just send that right to the chat room. And as you can see, this card is now available here and accessible by anyone in the Slack room. Shows what board it's on the list and can quickly go. And anyone on my team can directly jump right into that card and start collaborating with me on it. So what's also really neat is you can take a Slack comment. Let's say one of our devs just shared this new business class feature, and I want to make sure to make a cool video for it. I can take the timestamp, just drag it right onto the list, and I have it right here. But I can also take that, drop it right onto a card, and now I have that so I can reference that later so I know not to forget about it. What's also really cool is that you can set reminders for Trello cards with the Slack power-up, and Slackbot will send you a reminder. It'll either send you, your team member, or an entire channel notification in Slack at the set date and time. So as you can see, I can remind myself about the card, someone else on my team, or I can remind an entire channel about the card. So if I don't have time to do this maybe this week and I want to remind myself to do it next Tuesday, I can click Remind in 7 days. Slackbot knows that it'll automatically send me a notification 9 a.m. on Tuesday. So this way I don't forget about anything that I have to work on. So you get a visual perspective of your team's sales pipeline and customize your sales workflow to your team's unique needs with the Salesforce power-up enabled on your Trello board. And by incorporating your Salesforce data into your Trello board, it's possible to now add additional steps to your sales pipeline that are not currently built into Salesforce. For instance, maybe when sharing contracts with legal for approval. And so you can easily share with your team members Salesforce data so that they can see sales projections and the status of your contacts, leads, and opportunities. So here we go. As you can see, I can pull in any cases, any contacts, leads, or opportunities directly to a card. This will all update in real time. So anytime a change is made in Salesforce, next time this card is opened, any data in here will be updated. You quickly hop into Salesforce. And as you see, let's see, you can edit this. Maybe it's now worth 200,000, but it's now due in March. And I can save that. And next time I load this card, the updated information is right here. So it's super easy for anyone that's on my Trello board that's working with my team to keep up to date on exactly where everything is at in Salesforce. Also, for quick visual reference, you can see there are badges on the cards. So any managers or anyone can quickly reference any cards and see when something might be coming due and the value of that. And let me also quickly show you how easy it is to just attach a lead to a card, which I'll do in the leads column. So let's say I got a new lead that I want to add to my pipeline. Search for it, add it right here. And now I can go and contact Toby and bring this apart and bring this into my sales pipeline and hopefully close that deal. So with the Evernote power-up, you can turn your ideas into actionable items in Trello. So for example, when developing content for our blog, you can move notes from Evernote into Trello so that your team can collaborate with your posts, keep track of the writing, editing, and publishing phases all in one centralized location. So just to give you a quick example, this is actually based off our current our editorial calendar and content management board in Trello, where we have article ideas, what we're working on, and all the way through the process to publishing. So say I'm working on a new post about the Pomodoro technique. Now I'd love to get feedback from my copy editor. If I like to work in Evernote to do drafts, I can quickly attach this to the card, and I can ask Amy to take a look, and my colleagues can quickly hop into Evernote and start making edits to the document or giving me feedback suggestions. And so you can easily see when notes were created or modified. Obviously, I haven't been working on this post in quite a while, but it's about time I get to it. So, and it's also really easy to create a new Evernote note right from the back of a Trello card. So I can click Create and Attach Note. I can pick the notebook that I want. And maybe I'm going to interview someone, so I'm going to just modify this. By default, it's like the Google Drive Power Up. You're going to pull in the card name. But maybe it's an interview I'm doing with someone who uses a technique. Create this card. Create the note. Now it's on the back of the card. And so once again, all my assets are in one location. Anyone that's going to be working on this project with me or this post can easily access this, and we can hop right into Evernote to start working. So with the GitHub Power-Up, team leads and project managers can, in a single glance, look at a Trello board and see what commits have passed their GitHub checks, and which code has been merged. Developers can easily access the code they need and coordinate with the rest of the team by attaching branches, commits, issues, and pull requests directly to cards. So that's there. And when you enable the GitHub Power-Up, you can attach as many repositories as you like that you're working with. So simply just add a repo. Which one hasn't been added yet? There we go. Now I have a new repo added to my board. From here, I can attach any branches, commits, issues, or pull requests from any repo. So I can choose which one I'd like to access repos from. With any pull requests, you can see where it is, the status, how many comments are on it, who it's assigned to, and the name of the pull request. Same goes with issues. You can also view commits and access branches right from the back of a Trello card. So I can just quickly go in to this pull request and start working, and anyone on my team can start working or see the status of a task. So the Zendesk Power-Up allows you to attach tickets and views directly to a Trello card. And so this is great for keeping track of bugs, feature requests, or support loads. And so tickets attached to cards display the name of the ticket, a preview of the body of the ticket, who the ticket is assigned to, and when the ticket was last updated. And so you can also attach Zendesk views to cards to get a higher level perspective on the number of tickets open in your group, how many open tickets you have, and more. And so you can do that right from here. And you can also drag and drop power-ups. You can drag and drop cases right into a card to add them. As you can see, you can attach tickets. You can sort and filter by many ways to access tickets and views. And so tickets and views can be open right from the back of a Trello card in Zendesk, which is great. So you can start working on this if you are working on this card. But the nice thing is that there's enough information displayed on the card itself that project managers can know what's going on without having to leave their Trello workflow. And also, as you can see, card fronts will have a badge displaying the number of tickets attached to each card. So this can be helpful if you want to, at a glance, see which tasks have tickets piling up and may need to be prioritized. Next up, with the SurveyMonkey Power-Up, you can attach surveys directly to a Trello card, which can be accessed directly from the back of the card. And so by linking your SurveyMonkey account to your Trello board, as a survey creator, you also get additional data, like how many times the survey's been taken and when, as well as easy access to survey results within SurveyMonkey. And so there's kind of a lot of neat ways that teams can use this power up. For startups, if you have a survey and a newsletter on a website, you can attach that survey to your marketing board to keep track of all the tasks and data in one place. Some more interesting uses come from the way surveys can be taken right in a Trello card like this. So maybe this is great for HR teams looking to get some employee feedback. Just quickly answer a few questions here. Submit the response. Now what's neat is that as the person that added the card, I'll see that someone answered that response today. So this will update every time the card is loaded. Maybe also if you have a public road mapping board, you want to share the development and progress of your app or your product, then you can ask your user community to fill out surveys right from your road mapping board. And this data can be used to help steer future development decisions. So if there's any other power-ups that you'd like to see, these are just some of the most popular ones, and I don't want to take necessarily all the time just going over all the power-ups because there's other business class stuff I want to share. But you can ask in the GoToWebinar questions box, and I'll address as many as possible at the end of the presentation. I also want to share that, I don't know if you heard, but recently we opened up our power-ups library so that anyone can create custom power-ups for their business class team. And hopefully down the road, these can even be shared publicly if desired. And so for more information on the power-ups platform architecture and request access to the power-ups sandbox to begin building your own power-ups, you can go to developers.trello.com/power-ups. And you can also see what the API architecture looks like, get a feel for how the power-ups look, and even see some examples. And I'll start playing with some of them yourself. So next, let's take a look at the business class teams board page. So as teams get larger, so the number of boards that need to be managed. And that's why we've added 2 ways to organize and visualize your boards: collections and board sorting. And so this new metadata is a dashboard of information that surfaces who's working on what and what company priorities are. And so collections are a way to organize boards into meaningful categories, making it possible to associate boards by project, group, or really anything you want. And so collections are completely customizable to your team structure, and you can create as many collections as you want. And collections can also be quickly filtered to surface the boards that matter to you most, for the projects that you're working on. And so maybe I want to, maybe there's a couple projects that are some, Q2, Q2 priorities. What I can do here is I can maybe create a Q2 priorities collection. And now I can just go through any of my boards and just add that right here. And anytime I want to focus on Q2 priorities, I can just pull up this collection right here and I can quickly access my boards and dive right into my work. So board titles also now display key details like when the board was last active, the number of members on a board, the number of times the board has been starred. And boards can be sorted by this criteria so that everyone in your team can get perspective on the boards that are most active or most interesting and important to your company. So now you can easily see what boards matter most for maybe the projects you're working on. And new team members will be able to onboard with ease by starting to see what boards have the most members or maybe which boards are starred the most. And even better for you, this time when you come back from vacation, you can easily catch up on everything that's happened since you were gone by seeing which boards have had activity since you left. So it's one key way to, convenient way to pull up your information faster. So next I want to go over some business class settings. So you can keep your business safe and your information secure with the additional administrative features that business class offers. So business class allows team admins to control how company information is shared and really who can access your private data. And so first I want to go over team membership restrictions. And this allows you to specify which domains and email addresses can be added to your team, so that no one is accidentally added to your team when they shouldn't be, maybe by another team admin. And so as you see here, I've allowed that anyone with a Trello.com email address can be added to the team. But maybe I have a freelancer coming on board, or I have a client that I want to bring onto my team for a short period of time. I can enter an individual unique email address too, and allow this person to be added to my team so that then I can give them access to all the boards that we're working on. So with board creation restrictions, you can set who can create public, private, and team visible Trello boards, to make sure that an important internal board is not accidentally made publicly viewable. Another thing is you can set whether or not to allow non-team members, if they can be invited to your team boards as well. So it's excellent for providing additional data security. But, if you'd like to bring clients into projects, you may want to either allow this option, or if you don't allow it, then you'd want to add them as a team member. So Business Class also gives team admins greater membership controls, allowing you to remove team members from all boards in a single click while preserving their work so that you can quickly reassign tasks to other team members. So for example, if Amy is going to leave the team, I can disable her, deactivate her on the members page, which prevents her from accessing any of the team boards she's on. So as you can see, now she's deactivated. So I reload one of the boards she was on. You can see she's faded out here. And as you can see, her avatar is faded out on this board as well. And so what this allows me to do is I can reassign tasks that were assigned to Amy to another member of the team. And this way I don't lose track of who is working on what or some precious time on a project. Now maybe Amy comes back to the team. I can reactivate her. And next time I load the board, I see Amy has access to the board and she's back on the cards. And maybe now I can remove this member from the card if they no longer need to work on it. So as a team admin, you always have the permissions necessary to administer any team board, whether it's team visible, public, or private, even if you're not an admin of that board. So maybe sometimes when a board admin leaves your team and you need to delegate responsibilities. So you can also view all of the boards that any member of your team is on. And like I said, you have by default admin privileges on those boards. And you can also easily view any team members' cards that they're assigned, which is a great way to keep track of their workflow. Maybe make sure they're either not burdened with too many tasks or they have too few tasks. So business class teams can bulk export all of your team's board data and history in a single click. Data is exported in JSON and also CSV format, which can be imported into Excel or other spreadsheets. And so if you want to include all your attachments, you can click this link right here, this button right here, and all card attachments can be downloaded in bulk in their native formats, and they'll be organized in folders by board. And so all I can do is click Create New Export, and we'll prepare this export. As you can see, I also have a history of past exports, which I can always access at any time. Finally, one other cool feature I want to share with you is if you want to bring clients and other team members into your project without worry, you can do so with the observer permissions. And so what this does is it grants a board member read-only or comment-only access to a board. And so it's great for maybe when you want to keep clients in the loop on your team's progress, but don't want them changing any card data. And so to add an observer to a board, I can go to invite someone. So let me say client Jim at company.com. And I click right here, include this member as a view-only observer. Click send. And now when this person joins this board, they'll be able to view all the cards on this board. They'll be able to open them, but they wouldn't be able to change any of the data on this board. I also, in the board settings, can set it so that they can leave comments on cards as well. So maybe if if I'm working on a project with a client and I want to get some feedback, it'd be good to give them commenting permissions on a card. Also, I just want to let you know that Business Class includes all of the Trello Gold features for your entire team, including 250 megabyte file attachments, custom backgrounds, stickers, emoji, as well as safe search. So I'm going to go back to here real quick. So I want to talk now about smart billing. We introduced a whole new billing platform called Smart Billing. And so now business class teams are only charged for active team members, and you'll never get stuck paying for anyone on your team that is not using Trello. So this means that you can add your entire company to business class so that people have access to their boards when they need them, but you won't get charged when they don't. So a team, if a team is inactive, a team member is inactive for 14 days or longer, a prorated credit will be added to your account, and the credit will be applied to your next billing cycle. Best of all, we'll take care of this automatically for you, so you don't have to worry about a thing. And one thing I want to mention is that I'd like to quickly mention is that you're only billed for team members or board members that are added to your business class team. So if you add someone to a board, either as an observer or not, maybe just a normal member, but they've never been added to your business class team, you will not be charged for that user. But I just want to note that non-team members will not have access to any of the business class features. So we also offer a 90-day no question money back guarantee. So if you try out business class and you find it doesn't work for you, we'll gladly refund your purchase. If you ever have any issues with your account or questions, all business class teams have priority support with 1 business day turnaround or less. And so you can just email support@trello.com and someone on our support team will be glad to help you out. Really, to learn more about everything business class has to offer, you can visit trello.com/business-class. And I just want to share a couple other resources with you real quick. Trello.com/inspiration is a collection of Trello boards from the Trello user community and our own team that just highlight a ton of different ways that people are using Trello with their businesses or outside of work. And you can view these boards and copy them as templates and kind of customize them for your own workflow. There's a whole host of additional third-party integrations such as browser extensions, add-ons, etc. And if you go to trello.com/integrations, you can check all those out. We also have a blog that we are constantly putting out great posts about productivity, feature updates, cool Trello use cases, etc. So I recommend checking that out. And of course, we are on social. So connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. Reach out. We're always glad to talk to you and love to hear what you're up to. And so I'm going to get the Q&A session going in just a moment. So if you have any questions, feel free to enter them into the GoToWebinar box. And Michelle and I are going to address as many as possible. So if you have to leave the webinar now and have questions, or you'd rather ask your questions in private, feel free to email us at support@trello.com, and we'll be glad to answer them for you. And once again, I have been recording this webinar. I remembered to actually hit record this time. And so I'll be sending a copy of this webinar to everyone who's attended, and you can share these with any colleagues or anybody. So I'm just going to hop back into Trello here and get ready to answer some questions. Thanks everyone for your time, and totally understand if you have to hop off the line right now. Okay, let's see. We have some Power Up demo requests. First up, Trello. Let me just give you a quick overview for those unfamiliar. So Trello is pretty cool. You can, if you're doing sprints, you can have your burn down charts, your burn ups, your cumulative flow diagrams, everything accessible right from Trello. And you can also access your Trello dashboard right from your Trello card, which is pretty cool. So this way it kind of gives you reports and you can see team progress and holdups by giving you quick access to this information. So with the burn down charts, you could track cards or story points, see what the ideal burn down looks like, see what the actual burn down is for each day, and then see what the projected burn down is for tomorrow over the course of a sprint. The sprint is set up as a 2-week sprint, but of course these are always configurable in your Trello dashboard. And then the cumulative flow diagram displays if the done list is kind of ramping up, or if more tasks are getting added to a project than are getting done. So I could see, filter out the done list, could bring in the backlog, glance the backlog buildup, which might interrupt your team's process, kind of get an idea of like where things are at and whether or not, too much is being assigned to my team or held up. And I can also access my full Trello project dashboard right from the card and, create new projects or make, edits if I need to change anything in this project, change the status of the sprint or anything. So let's see, there was a request here for the elegant power up. I'm going to try it. But right when I was setting up for the webinar, I noticed a little bug, so let's see how it goes. I have to report this to the developers right after the webinar. So it's kind of having a little bit of a bug right now. I don't know if it's just unique for me. So I'm going to contact the developers right after this. But basically, the elegant power up lets you visualize your board's progress as a Gantt chart right from your board. So you can see the amount of work done or completed in certain periods of time, and the amount of work that is planned over time for that project. But like I said, I'm having a bug in my environment right now. So as you can see. So I'm going to report that. If you do want to see any more demos for the elegant power up, just email our support team, support@trello.com, and we're going to get some videos going and all that kind of stuff. Sorry about that. I wish I knew exactly what was going on, but I'm going to reach out to the team at Elegant and share this with them and see if we can get that fixed. So let's see. Next up is the Twitter power up. The Twitter power up is really cool. So basically, it allows you to pull in tweets right to a Trello card. So I can do it from the URL source. I can search via home timeline, mentions, or via search. So as you can see, this is pulling in from the Trello home timeline. So maybe if I'm doing some social listening, I can, there's a neat tweet that I see that I want to keep track of, maybe someone I want to reach out to. I can just pull this right in. The cool thing too is I can also like stuff, retweet, or reply right from my Trello card. And you can also, maybe I like to use this, the Twitter power up. I do a lot of community stuff. Oh, sorry, twitter.com. And I like to kind of keep track of what tweets are popular, or also if someone writes a really awesome blog post, maybe that I want to share with the community, I'll save that for later. So I could just take that and let's say this was my card that I'm keeping track of really cool blog posts. I can just drop that right in a card, and now I can easily access that at any point and just have a great repository of cool tweets and stuff, content to share. Let's see. Oh, someone wants to see the calendar power up. You bet. Just so you know, I just want to let everyone know that the every account has 3 power-ups: a calendar, card aging, and voting power-up. And so with a card calendar, the calendar enabled on a board, you go right up here, and any card that has a due date on it is going to appear in this calendar view that I can filter by week or month. I can access cards right from the calendar. And also what's really cool is I can actually drag and drop cards to new dates. Maybe I need to shift around this calendar. And as you can see, the due date is automatically updated on the card. Also, each calendar has an iCalendar feed. So when it's enabled, you have your own personal iCalendar feed for the calendar for this board. So this is really great if maybe you have calendars enabled across multiple boards and you want to keep track of all your Trello due dates in one location. You can import, you can copy and paste this, import the iCal feed into any third-party calendar that takes iCal feeds, such as Google's Calendar, Apple, Outlook, Sunrise, and you can then be able to see all your different boards' calendars in one spot. Let's see, the Dropbox. Someone asked to see the Dropbox power up. Here we go. The Dropbox Power works in some similar ways to the kind of way Google Drive works. Where is my? Let me just find my. Oh, here we go. So as you can see here, I've with the Dropbox Power on this board, you can attach files and folders. I can attach it right to this board. And we get a thumbnail. You can see when it was last modified. And of course, I can access that file directly in Dropbox. One thing is about attaching files from Dropbox and Drive, etc., is if you attach a file directly from your computer to Trello, then anyone that can access the board will have access to that file. But say you want, maybe you have a stronger file permission set. Maybe someone doesn't have access to this Dropbox file, or perhaps based on your permission settings for folders or docs in Google Drive. If you don't want to have certain people have access to certain files, let's say, attaching from Google Drive, Dropbox, and setting your permission settings as you see fit is a good way to just make sure only the people that you want to access files can access those files. And let's see, harvest, request for harvest. Which board do I have that on? Here we go. So the harvest power up is really cool time tracking power up. And so basically, just click that, click track time. And so the harvest power up allows you to track time spent on projects right from your Trello cards. So it's great for logging billable hours on client-based projects, or just keep track of how long it takes for you to get things done even. And really, you can do this all without leaving your Trello board. So you can track. So you can pick, what my project is, the billable hours or non-billable, and you can set these all within Harvest, of course. So doing some programming. By default, just to save some time and some clicks, the task is automatically imported from the card title. And so I can either start the timer, and then let's say when I'm done, I can stop the timer. But if I just know that I'm working a certain block of time, I can just enter that, save this entry. Maybe I forgot to put in yesterday's, time. I can also save it to a different day. I can pick the date, add that, and then I can easily access my timesheet right here. And as you can see, I can quickly see when I worked on everything, and even hop back right into Trello from my timesheet. So that's really cool. I've also spoken with the folks at Harvest, and I know that they have a lot of really cool things in the works that I can't really share at the moment, but they're constantly working to improve this and add more features to this power up. So it should be some exciting stuff down in the pipeline in the next few weeks. Let's see. If anyone else has any power-ups they'd like to see demoed, let me know. Right now, looks like it's a couple just general business class questions I can take here. Someone asked, when using some of the power-ups, usernames, passwords are required. How would they maintain and discuss security around that? So basically, so if you enable if a power-up's enabled on your board, each individual board member would have to have authenticated or logged in to that service. They'd have to have an account, and they'd have to log in and authenticate that service on their board. So if maybe one person has a Salesforce account, but someone else doesn't, then they're not going to be able to access, the person that doesn't have the account is not going to be able to access that data. They're not going to be able to see it. It is, it's based on the user and, authenticating for some of these, like Salesforce, SurveyMonkey, etc. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have any more detailed follow-up questions, please feel free to email us support@trello.com, and we'll be glad to help you out with that and answer any detailed questions you have about that. Also, let me point out real quick, might be useful. But if you do grant access to a third-party power-up and you ever want to revoke that access, you can go to your profile. I open a new tab, you can click profile, go to settings. And as you see, these are all the applications that I have given access to. And so I can, just revoke these anytime if I want to. And then, if you want to give them access to your boards again in the future, you could, next time you use the power up, you'd be asked to authorize the app again. Okay, let's see. It looks like there's a general Trello question here. Where I am at with using Trello in my organization is still trying to get more people on board. My sense is that a lot of people tend to use apps like this individually rather than thinking about how they can be used collectively. How have you helped mass people get into working collaboratively in this way? Okay, so a lot of these boards are actually kind of based on some of our boards. I'm going to share a blog post actually that Michelle wrote. Was it Trello board best practices? This has a really good overview of kind of setting it up, really helping people like understand how to use a board, make clear what tasks are, and accountability. So let me just, I'm going to add that to the chat here. And I actually have a webinar coming up that might help if you want to learn some kind of board basics. The Getting Started with Trello webinar, kind of like, or there's also an on-demand version of it. I can put that in chat as well. It's a good way, kind of overview of setting up your first board, bringing people in. It's a good way to get, just understand like how to get people collaborating. Some things are, assigning people to tasks is a great way, so that they are aware of what they're assigned. Let me get a less busy card open. If I want to get someone's feedback, I can mention someone. Save my comment, and now this person's going to get a notification. They're going to get pinged on it. You can adding due dates to cards. I just hit the D for the hotkey D, but you can also add due date from a card back. So let's say I want to make this due next week. This way, like the two members assigned to this card are going to get notifications in Trello and via email if they have that turned on. So it's just another way to kind of ping people and let them know about their what's going on. And I think it's also really good to make sure that you have someone like own each board. Like consider like this board would be a project manager's kind of responsibility in a way. And so someone should make sure that tasks aren't getting forgotten, ping people, archive cards that are done. Just try and keep the board clean and understandable. That's some of just the my recommendations for kind of how you can get people working collaboratively. Does Trello have an API available? Yeah, we do. Let me go back over here. So if we go to Trello, developers.trello.com, you can access our API right here. And we have all our API documents available. I'm just going to put this in chat. Okay, let's see. Oh, someone has to demo the voting feature. Sure, yeah. I'm going to show you what it looks like real quick. So you can enable it. You can decide if it's just board members, members and observers, only team members, and if it's a public members. So if it's a public board, then you can solicit votes from your from the public. This is not a public board, but let me pull up a cool. Let me see if I can find. The front app has a public. So they have a public board, and they get feedback on ideas or what to work on, and they ask people to vote on these. These are all their users, and so I can open a card and I could just add my vote to something. Now, as you can see, I've been one of the people that voted. It shows a little highlight badge right there. And this is a kind of really neat way that you see this a lot with public, development boards or just product sharing boards. You're seeing the vote feature used a lot. We even have a team getaway, a team retreat soon. Maybe you're having a team retreat and you want to get ideas of who wants to do what, maybe what activities are popular. You could create a board for the team, for the company retreat, or family vacation, family reunion, and enable the voting power up, and let people just kind of get some quick feedback from everyone about what they want to do. Well, let's see, there's a request for the MailChimp power up. Let me go back to my marketing board. So with the MailChimp power up, you can attach campaigns and templates right to cards. So this is cool because here's a newsletter that was sent out. I can pull all my campaigns right into a Trello card and at a glance see maybe what's performing best, what didn't perform well. Check out the open rates and clicks, and then maybe I can also attach the templates and quickly view the template. I can make changes to it. I can look at the buttons that were used. Also, our designer can easily attach a template. As you can see, our designers can attach templates to cards, and we can ask our feedback about the design. Anyone can go in, kind of check this out, and then we can give feedback about any email campaigns. Of course, you can also access any campaign right in Trello and get a little more detailed information. Let's see. Someone asks, is it possible to notify request activities from other team members not by email, but when they access Trello so that they can be directed to the task activity requested? Yep. So let's see. The best thing is to probably mention someone in a comment on a card. So maybe going back to this, maybe I want to get feedback on one of our new MailChimp templates. So, and maybe Chris designed it. So I can start typing his name, pull that in. Hey, would love your feedback. Or maybe I could give him feedback. Can you make the blue button green? Now I can send that to Chris. So now Chris is going to get a notification in Trello that I mentioned him in this comment with my question. So as you can see here, some notifications. So basically, Chris will see this. He'll be able to just up here in his notification window, and he'll be able to just click that, go right to the card, and see exactly what I'm talking about and exactly what's I'd like feedback on. So it's really easy to rope people in. By default, people get notification emails. We have them set. Settings. So by default, usually they're set to periodically. I like to get mine instantly. If a team member doesn't want to receive emails and only want to get some notifications in Trello, then you can just set that to never. And that's one way that you can easily communicate with team members and bring them into projects. So anyway, it looks like that's all the questions for today. Thanks everyone. This has been great. Once again, if you come up with any questions, any follow-up questions, maybe you watch the recording tomorrow, definitely reach out to us at support@trello.com. Also, if you have any feedback on the webinar, or if there's any topics you'd love to see covered in the future, just email us, support@trello.com, let us know. We're always making new content and want to know what you'd like to learn more about when it comes to using Trello. So anyway, hope that everyone has a great rest of the day, and thanks for everything.